We're live.
Hey,
We're
Yo.
all alive.
Yeah, true.
I made it. I survived America again.
Yeah, it sounds like you were
Amazing.
busy working.
Oh God, yeah, we did a lot of recordings this trip. My God.
Anything cool you can share, or did you do anything besides work you can talk about?
I went to some game shops. That's about it. That's really normally all we do. Oh no, we went to a go-kart building. I think it's Andretti is the name of the chain, like Mario Andretti.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It's like
I
a
don't know
cool
who
one of
that
those
is.
cool like fast indoor like go-kart places where like I think everything feels like it's going like 50 kilometers an hour at least. Like
Okay.
they're nice fast zippy go-karts. They make you put on the helmet and stuff like that. So you have to take a little mini course about like track safety. Then of course no one freaking listens to it. So
Right.
they're
I
like, if
did
you're
one of
going
those.
slow, make sure to let people pass you. And then of course we kept
Yeah,
bumping into people that would not let people pass. So we're just like, come on, we're stuck behind you.
yeah, I did one of those a few months ago, and one of the rules was like you can bump people, it's gonna happen, but you can't like aggressively like slam into people. Did you have the same rules at yours?
Yep.
Yeah, that's so lame. And when people got caught like slamming into people, they slowed everyone down.
Yep. So if there was so we had our issue with our session was that one person had a broken cart. So they couldn't
Oh
like
man.
go super fast. So they kept slowing down everyone else as a result for 3 laps. And it was just like the worst of like, all right, time for a nice fast straightaway. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I can
That's
barely get up this hill now, but all right, sure.
My place also
And then
forgot about my group, so we waited like a solid hour when we were supposed to have gotten on, and someone finally went and asked, and they were like, "Oh, whoops. Okay, we'll try and get you on." And we had to wait like another 30 minutes for like a
what the
slot to open.
fuck? That's
Wow.
They
messed
just
up.
forgot about us. Yeah, that was insane. But good trip. Flights were okay.
Flights were good. Just direct flight there and direct flight back.
Nice.
Nice.
Just long. It's like a 4.5 hour flight.
Yep.
So did some reading on the way there and back, slept a bit. Did very little gaming this trip that wasn't work related, so.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Sure. Sure. Got to get away from the cold for a bit, so that's probably nice.
Uh-huh. It was like, yeah, not like icy cold, but like it was still surprisingly cold in Georgia to a point where I spent pretty much my entire time there with a hoodie zipped up. Like I was basically dressed like this the entire time.
It was not cold
Okay.
up here either. It was like +3 to
Yeah.
7 every day,
Yeah, I think Georgia got colder at times, honestly.
or at least
There were a
roughly
couple
the
nights where they
same.
hit like 1 or 0, and all their houses are not built to keep out the cold.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
So
that's what it's
it
like here.
just got really cold at times.
sure.
Yeah, need to have a space heater and carry it around into whatever room you're sitting in. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a blanket with me half the time. It was rough.
Paul, you been up to anything cool since we last spoke?
I'm just trying to catch up on some TV stuff,
Oh
basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
what was it? What's
I mean, the latest one was Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Watched all of that.
really good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best things released this year, easily. Um,
Very enjoyable.
yeah, I really like what they do with it. I just don't. I don't really want to talk deep into it because if you don't know, you should go into that not knowing. It's great.
I didn't know going into it, so like the end of
Yeah,
the first episode happened, and I was like, "What?
yeah. They do
Did that
not.
like was that known beforehand?"
No, they don't advertise or tell you at all what's going on with that thing, and I think
That's
it's
great.
better for it. Yeah. So just kind of been doing that. Nothing really. I think I'm getting sick because Erin was on
Oh no,
vacation last week. She came back. She's sick. So now I'm just kind
oh,
of
something
trying
bad.
to get everything done that I need to in the next couple days so that if I get sick, I can just enjoy my sick time and not have to worry about stuff I need to finish.
I got a TV recommendation.
Okay.
Um, I was turned on to this Christmas special. It's a Mickey Mouse. It's a Disney Christmas special. It's on Disney Plus. It's
I saw
called
this tweet.
Duck the Halls.
Uh huh.
It's like 20 minutes long, so it's easy to watch. The- I'm gonna watch this every year now. It is now part of my Christmas rotation. The all This is the best way I can describe it. The only instructions that the animators must have been given are you need to fuck up this duck.
Ha!
Okay.
Like The stuff that they do to Donald is insane. The way they animate Donald is insane. At one point, Goofy literally screams, "Donald, you look like death."
Oh my god. All right.
It is unhinged. This official Mickey Mouse Christmas special. It's from a few years back, like 2018 or something like that. Again, it's called Duck the Halls. I cannot recommend it enough. You have 20 minutes of free time. I know you do. You're about to listen to an hour-long video game podcast. You got 20 minutes. You can watch this Christmas special. If you have Disney Plus, look it up. It is unhinged. It is so absurd. I cannot believe that Disney let this happen.
Cool. That's
yeah,
great.
there it is on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Is all of it on YouTube?
Yes.
21 minutes 35 seconds.
There you go. Absolutely watch that. It is a treat. I'm watching it every year for Christmas now.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to.
And then
I have it pulled up.
Yeah. Good. Nice. But let's talk about some video games for the next hour, since I threatened that already. This is the top-down perspective for November 30th. We're about to enter the last month of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. I'm Sean Booker.
Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
Speaking of exciting, we got some housekeeping to talk about. Because it is about to hit November, because it is about to hit December.
Yep.
Community Game of the Year survey goes live tomorrow. Is that right, Paul?
Yes, it'll be up tomorrow.
Yes. So if you are somehow listening to this podcast and you aren't familiar with the Game of the Year stuff, I'm surprised. I would love to know how you found out about this podcast, because you probably don't actually exist.
Yeah.
But for those who somehow learned about us this year, we put out a survey. People get to submit their favorite games of the year, their least favorite games of the year. We have some new categories, some first-time new categories this year, so that's exciting.
Yep.
Extra fancy.
Make sure you read the question. Say this every year.
Every year. Yep.
There's always at least a handful of people that prove they can't read.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's why they're listening to an audio podcast. Maybe that's what they have to do.
Yeah. True.
But read the questions carefully, submit your answers, and then when we do our Game of the Year show, which will be sometime in early January, we will put everything together, and you guys will get to announce your things alongside us announcing our favorite and least favorite games, and it's all a lot of fun. And so you have a month. It goes live tomorrow. Keep an eye out on the Discord. Keep an eye out on the socials. We'll tweet links. So there you go. And last thing, apologies for our patrons on the ad-free episode of the RSS feed, for ad-free episodes. There was a weird thing with our back end. I think it's fixed. I know the episode is live. I'm talking about last week's episode. Hopefully that doesn't happen again this week's episode, but it is fixed. If you're following along with the social accounts, you would have known about this. But yeah, I don't know. It was out of our hands.
Yeah. We tried
With
like
that,
every day, I swear.
Every day I was,
Yeah.
Yep, every day. Yeah, I don't know. All right. John, what have you been playing?
Not all that much. Like, a lot of the stuff we played was for TRG, so I really only played through two things while I was away. I finished up Kirby Star Allies 100% because I hadn't done that before.
Okay.
So I had done everything in the game except for the arena, and I never had done guest star mode, which is where you basically run through the game as one of the helper characters.
Okay.
So those are both fairly substantial, honestly. I technically haven't like finished. I have 100% on the file, but there's like, if you do this extra thing, you get like a crown on your file and you unlock something extra.
Oh.
But it requires playing through like a super difficult version of Arena, and doing that with 3 AIs is not the greatest.
Hmm.
So
Are you going to do it?
I might try it again, because apparently it's not super difficult if you know what you're doing. It's just I kept dropping inputs. One of the characters I was using had like iframes with it, like a huge move that hit everywhere, and I was just struggling to do it on a Joy-Con. So maybe with a Pro controller, I might not have as hard a time. But I was just also like, I'm super done with this game, so I moved on to Super Mario RPG's remake.
Nice.
That is
So did I.
so weird to get used to, because I have I have so much muscle memory built up from like the SNES version, and everything feels just different enough that it's pissing me off. Like,
Okay, I'm curious. I've never played the SNES version.
Oh,
so like what specifically, like the character movement?
the timing of all the attacks.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. and like jumping on characters. Normally, like if you jump on a character, you're just on there, but now they have like there's a slope, so you will actually slide off of certain characters and stuff like that. So
Yeah, like
like
NPCs, you mean, right?
yeah, there's like it's
Yeah.
like just enough difference that it won't actually bother. Like anyone who's new to the game will not notice at all, but for someone who's like played it so much, it's gonna mess with them completely. But there's a couple of changes I do like. I like the fact that now if your timing is like dead on, you get no damage, which I think that's kind of a neat change.
On
That's
the
cool.
defending one.
On the defending, yeah. And if you do it
Yeah.
all with the attacking one, you do an AoE attack. I think that's cool. I like that fights have like what are they like rare enemies that are like super like much more tougher
Special
now?
enemies.
Special enemies, that's the term they use, yeah.
That's cool.
I like that. I think the fact that you get different group attacks depending on who you have in your party is also kind of a neat touch.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm super sold on the whole gauge system, but I mean like whatever. It's not like it's hindering the game at all.
Here's
I
a
just think
question
it's
for
something.
you.
Hmm.
What does gauge up mean?
That means you literally get like an extra 10% in your gauge.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause,
when
yeah,
that happens, you,
sometimes
you
I'll
get a big boost to your gauge.
big boost. Okay. Okay.
And it happens every time your combo's at 10 or a multiple of 10.
And then so here's a question. Was fast traveling in the original game? Like
No.
with the map? I was
Well,
wondering that
the
'cause I was
map
like,
itself, yes, but like you can't be like in the middle of a dungeon and be like, I want to go to Rosetown.
yeah. Which you can do now, and I
Yeah,
thought to myself, I was like, I bet this wasn't in the original because it's just based on eras of games, so I was
yeah,
curious.
you're correct.
I think it looks really nice, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Sounds mostly great. There's a couple songs I've been like, oh, you just like, there's like one note that's off that just sounds annoying to me, but like for the most part, the music's been great.
You
Um,
can listen to the old music. You can switch it back.
yeah, I saw that too. I didn't want to do that because I
Yeah,
want to hear the new stuff.
same.
And apparently they added a post game because
Oh,
apparently
okay.
like there's like yeah you beat the game and you can fight like much harder versions of a bunch of the bosses. So
Cool.
Okay.
yeah, so it seems interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna fully bother to finish it because at the end of the day it is still just Super Mario RPG, but also Super Mario RPG is not that long of a game for an RPG.
Yeah, that
So
surprised me because I was trying to decide what's my next Switch game, and um, I figured it was going to be one of the Bayonettas that I skipped, but then I looked up the how long to beat on this, and it was like 10 hours,
yeah,
which
no, like I
is
think
short.
100%ing Mario RPG is under 20 hours, which is like super easy.
Yeah.
So there's a reason most people say this is like the starting the first RPG. So
It is a pretty easy one, that for sure. I like all the like kind of mini, I wouldn't even call them mini games, but like the little set pieces. Like going down the rapids, that was fun. Like there's a
yeah,
bunch of those, the minecart things. So those
yeah.
are pretty fun. Um, the box art sucks.
The box art's the Japanese box art, like from
I
the
think it's
original
bad.
release.
Yeah, I just think it's bad because the one America got, it's black and it has like the castle and stuff in the background, right?
Yeah.
And then the characters are there, and this time it's just the characters with a white background. I just think it's so boring.
It is a little boring. Yeah, I just had to look it up. I see what you mean.
I actually had it in arm's reach. This is
Yeah,
the
There you
American
go.
that
box
one's
art.
Yeah.
dope. That's so good.
And I might actually have the Switch one here too. Hang on. Sure enough.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's so
So
boring. It's
like
so boring.
the Japanese box was obviously more shaped like I think it actually was shaped the sideways one, and it had a fat Yoshi on here too or something like that. But this is basically what the Japanese box art was for the original Super Mario RPG.
Okay. I mean, I assumed it was is like okay, it's probably like referencing something because it even looks similar, character-wise to the North American one, and so it's like I get it, it's nostalgia, but I still just think it's so boring.
I found
Yeah,
it.
Paul just did it.
I linked it. Yeah, it's yeah, what John said basically.
Anyway, that's super nitpicking though, and I ended up getting a physical one, which I like never do, but there was like a Black Friday sale to get it for like $20 off. So
Oh,
why not?
wow.
Cool.
Yeah,
At
right.
that point, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish
That's
it. Like,
not
I'm already
quite the
halfway
box
through
art,
it,
but
so.
it's pretty damn close. I think that might be an advertising sheet for it.
Oh, sure.
It's pretty damn close to that though.
I did see you could use your like platinum My Nintendo points to print off the like Super Nintendo one that will fit in the Switch thing. To which I say, who owns a printer?
My work.
So
That's about it.
right, exactly. Work.
Yeah.
I literally only print my important personal documents at work.
To be fair, I own a printer, but haven't owned ink for it for like a decade. It's somewhere here. Like, I have the machine, but I would have to buy ink.
That's arguably worse because now it
It-
is just useless
Totally.
tech.
Yeah, no, totally.
John, is that it? That's all you played?
Yeah, that's it.
I brought some show and tell
Ooh.
right.
because my Steam Deck OLED came in.
Ooh.
Good
I mean, I
timing
can
for
show
it,
and
too.
tell too
Limited
if you want.
edition transparent version.
For playing show and tell,
So-
I got something I can show too.
Are you gonna upstage me? It's my turn.
No, you're probably gonna upstage me here.
Okay. Well, then you do yours first.
I got the pink analog pocket.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I almost dropped it.
That thing is bigger than I thought. I don't think I'd actually like spent much time looking at it in someone's hand.
God,
Yeah, no,
analog
they're
products are
solid.
so cool. Yeah, they're so
solid
good.
size.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That does all Game Boy games, including Advance,
Game
right?
Boy Color, Advance, Game Gear, and
I
with
didn't know
the
that one.
yeah, with adapters you can do Game Gear, Atari Lynx, no, it doesn't do Wonders 1. TurboGrafx C16, and there's another system I'm forgetting about. But I don't think those adapters are out yet.
Would be small. What has small enough cartridges? PSP.
There you go. That's the one.
Yep. So the case is slightly different. There's now a Velcro strap
Oh, okay.
along the edge of the zipper, which is actually kind of nice. So you can close it and it'll stay shut without having to like zip it closed. On the inside, there's like this new design.
Ooh, that is a nice design.
Huh.
And I'm just doing really small stuff. I have the original one here as well. But John, you'll know this. In the case of the original one, there's like a strap, and you kind of
Yep.
use that to lift the thing up, right? Lift.
I actually use it to keep it in place, but yeah, that makes way more sense.
I put it underneath it, and then I grab it to lift the deck up. That's
probably what it's
I do.
actually for.
Okay, because yeah, your way, how would that keep it in place? Because it doesn't like fasten to anything.
I put the little cloth cover over it, and then I like tuck it in, and so I'm like, okay, that'll at least
Okay, like you're putting it to bed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tucking it in for sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't have that anymore. It does come with a white cloth. Yeah, here's the limited edition one, the transparent with the orange accents.
Ooh la la, very nice.
Orange fan, orange along the top. This thing is so bright, like.
Oh right, because it's an OLED now.
OLED now, and the best part though is it's a little bit lighter, but you can feel it. You can tell.
Oh man, I held off on getting it because I was like, "There's no point." But if you tell me it's actually physically lighter,
it's only a little bit, but you can tell. I don't know, like, if it is so, it's so nice looking. So I've been playing Dave the Diver on it and Risk of Rain, two very colorful games. This thing looks like it's glowing. Like this, I'm a sucker for an OLED screen. What else was new about it? The haptics are better. Like they're stronger, so you can feel it rumble more. Obviously, the longer battery life as well. And I just have so much space now because of the terabyte on this thing. So I definitely just put Baldur's Gate on that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's like the exact same size as the original one. I'm gonna put this away before I drop it off my desk. Still comes with that case underneath this for who knows what. Secrets. This is where you put your weed, I guess, probably.
Of course.
Anyway, I like that thing. It's a lot of money. I don't know if I really recommend it because there's no like performance boost, but that screen is really nice, and I love using it for sure.
Nice.
It actually reminds me, I need to start wiping my old one because I'm selling that to a friend. Yeah, see, this old one just looks like so lame, and it's so heavy. Oh, so heavy. Can't even pick it up anymore. Anyway, that's the OLED. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about specific games. I played through all of Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. This is a visual novel.
Oh wow, how was that?
Devolver published it. It's cool. It's kind of there's like two kind of different games in there. The first half of it reminded me a lot of Valhalla or Coffee Talk, where you're kind of like a character sitting in a space, and other characters will keep entering that, and you'll talk to them about their problems and stuff, and they'll talk to each other, and they come back and forth. But the premise is you are a witch who was banished 200 years ago, and you summon a behemoth, which is um, forbidden magic, and the behemoth helps you make like a new deck of tarot cards. That's how you're kind of interacting with everyone. Is you have these tarot cards. There's some magic stuff that I'm not going to get into because it's kind of a spoiler, but I have to assume this game has like 100 different endings based on like you can really change up how things go, which is very cool.
Hmm.
The second half of the game is kind of this like political management sim, which I was less into, but you're basically trying to figure out who's going to like run the witch world. And what that results in is it's a lot of
Interesting.
you being like, hey, I'm going to send this person out over here to talk about our campaign. I'm going to challenge stuff over here. You have some options, but there are not enough options for the amount of days it gives you. So a lot of the days near the end, I was like, well, I'm going to wake up and go back to sleep because I have nothing to do today. And I did that like 7 days in a row. So I think the second half of the game kind of falls apart until you get to like that kind of end game area where it's like all the narrative stuff is coming together.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it has a
Well,
great
that does
look,
seem kind of
and
lame, yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's like I think it's like 60% of a great game. Because I just love the vibes and stuff, and the music's really nice as well, and the narrative's good. The writing is really enjoyable, but I just feel like that like last kind of 2 hours is a slog. That's a bummer.
That sucks. Yeah. Too bad.
I also Lake is a game that came out like last year that I talked about, where you play like a mail woman just delivering packages. Very cozy. They got some holiday themed DLC this year called Season's Greetings. It's actually a prequel DLC where you play as her dad.
Okay.
Um, and you're delivering like Christmas packages and presents to people around. It takes maybe like 3 hours. It was just great having some Christmas specific game stuff in at this time, so I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense.
And then last week over the break, I finished Liza P.
Okay. I actually
Nice.
started this last night, like officially. I started my journey in it.
Okay, all
But
right.
I didn't get I got to like where the demo ended, so it was all stuff I had seen before.
Okay, I think they actually just updated the game to make the beginning easier.
It was extremely quick. Yeah. I think in the
I
demo
was
it took
reading
me like 2
something.
hours, and it took me like an hour and 15 minutes this time. Like,
Yeah, I think they made the like kind of fodder enemies in the first area like easier to kill or have them like be less aggressive, I think I saw. And I actually do think that the first kind of quarter of that game is the hardest because you don't have any of the skill tree unlocked,
right.
and some of those early bosses are like you need to know how this works, whereas in the like second half of the game it's like you don't really need to know how this works as long as your sword does a lot of damage. So that
Yeah,
worked
I
out
mean,
really nicely.
to be fair, that's literally every Souls-like game, right? Is that like at this point you've got the weapon, so you're probably good now. Well, except Bloodborne, that game kind of fucks you the whole time sometimes.
Well, specifically in Liza P is that the skill tree gives you like it's so fun going through that skill tree because you get so many new things like being able to dodge while you're on the ground, taking less
Oh,
damage
sure.
during a dodge, multiple dodges and stuff, like all these things that are super useful. So that skill tree is like really rewarding.
That's
Um,
interesting because the
I will say,
dodge is bad, but that's fine
yep.
because the parry is incredible. The blocking is so good.
I stopped parrying. I did not like
Oh
parrying,
man,
but about a third into that game, of the skill tree, they're like, "Oh, now the dodge is good. In fact, the dodge is very good." And so I
that's
just switched over
interesting.
to I'm going to dodge everything and then hit him really hard with my sword.
So, did they change like how they approach bosses where like they're not as parryable later or whatever? Like I'm wondering why they would introduce that later like that. That seems kind of interesting to me.
That's why I was saying that's the first kind of chunk of that game is harder because you need to use the parry.
Yeah, but the parry is like
Like,
really good in this. Well, comparatively to other games.
right. But for me, I don't want to parry
Right.
ever.
That's why it's weird to me that like they force you to in the first half if they're going to add the
Yeah.
dodge later, like a better dodge anyway.
I guess maybe just to
Weird.
give you options to make sure you
guess.
know how to parry if you need to. You can definitely parry through the game, and it's probably a better idea. But they make it manageable to just like dodge around stuff, which is
Right.
really nice. And you get so many ways to like I would enter a boss room with the summon, so we're both rushing this guy. I'm making my sword an electric sword,
Mm-hmm.
and while he's focusing on this enemy dude, I'm slamming him as hard as I can with like heavy lightning sword attacks, and like it was just messing fools up. And my left arm was lighting them on fire. Like you become an absolute killing machine. It is very enjoyable.
Nice. How long would you say it like you took in it? How long is it roughly?
I'm pretty sure I was extremely close to the how long to beat, which
okay.
I can't remember what that was now. So let me look it up.
I can look that up quickly too.
30 hours.
Okay. That's not
And
bad.
I did I'm pretty sure I did pretty much everything. There was a couple like endings of the side quests that I got locked out of because I didn't realize I had to buy this specific weapon until it was
sure.
too late and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I did pretty much everything. So yeah, 30 hours, that sounds about right.
Cool.
And then the final boss, I had to kind of change up my whole strategy, which was kind of a bummer.
I've heard other people
but
say something about like this too, actually. I'm
Yeah, I've
intrigued.
heard the final bosses just are like kind of rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a bit. So you have the thing where you can grind your sword, right, which
Yep.
makes it sharp again.
Mhm.
That's also how you like make it a lightning sword, is you
Yep.
grind it with lightning power or whatever.
Yeah.
There's one that you can get where you grind it so that while you're blocking, you do perfect parry blocks. Like you don't even have to time it. You just hold down the block
Oh
for
shit.
this duration of time. So at that point, I was just like, I just need that. This guy is attacking too much. Because like I said, my strategy for like the second 2/3 of the game was
yeah.
me and the ghost are going to overwhelm you. And when you kill the ghost, I'm gonna have enough healing left over that I'm just going to overwhelm you. But this dude he was like, fuck you.
Interesting.
So I had to be like, okay, well, I'm going to cheap shot my way through these perfect parries. And there's a left arm that I swapped out for like a shield one that when you upgrade it, it becomes a bomb. So if they hit your shield arm, it explodes. And it's like, all right, feel free to rush me, dude.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
So I had to get very defensive, whereas I'm used to being very offensive.
Sure. Yeah. Interesting. I want to see this final boss.
But
one day.
those first like 2 or 3 bosses, I was probably having to take them on like a dozen times or so. Halfway through that game, I don't know if I fought a boss more than twice.
Sure. Okay. That interesting. So the power creep is like insane on your character at some point. Then you just keep getting more and more powerful.
Because the skill tree is just so rewarding and stuff, and it's like, this is awesome. Like,
interesting.
I'm so powerful. Let's go.
Okay. Cool.
And that's awesome. That's cool. So
yeah,
quite enjoyed that game. And that's all I played. So let's do a little bit of news. John, you weren't here when we did Game of the Year predictions. Do you want to throw out any predictions? I don't know if you looked at any of the nominees and stuff.
At the Game Awards, I like barely looked at any of it.
You want to maybe make a prediction for Game of the Year at the Game Awards?
What was the list? It was, I mean, it's Baldur's Gate 3, so.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
so
yeah.
agreed with everyone else.
yeah.
Then, like, all I remember is I remember Wonder being on there. I remember
Wonder.
like Tears of the Kingdom. Like, nope, they ain't beating Baldur's Gate.
Spider-Man was
Baldur's
another
Gate
one,
is number
and
3.
Resident
Resident Evil
Evil 4.
4. What's the 2 I'm missing that Paul probably said as I talked over him?
Which one? It was Baldur's Gate,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
Wake- it was on
Alan
there,
Wake
someone
2,
said?
Tears of
Alan
the
Wake
Kingdom.
2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Baldur's Gate 3. I'll be shocked if they don't like sweep most of their awards. I think they're going to be the Naughty Dog of this year.
Or the Elden Ring of this year and stuff.
Or the Elden Ring, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's super interesting if that game does win. like, is this like the first time we've had a like game of the year that just came out of nowhere? I
I'd
feel
have
like
to
most
I'd
of the
have to
time,
look at
you
them.
you think of Elden Ring, you think it's like
Yeah.
we everyone just kind of knew leading up to that game, whereas Baldur's Gate 3 just
I
like dropped and
mean,
was
Tears
like,
of the Kingdom, or sorry, Breath of the Wild, I guess you could say that with, because everyone's like, whoa, a Nintendo game actually won Game of the Year.
I
And
feel
people
like the
didn't,
hype for Breath
I
of the Wild was
mean, but
pretty up
people didn't
there
know it was going to
though.
be as different as it was, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, true. That's true. Yep. Lineback in the chat does mention Stray won last year,
Yeah,
and
that was
no one saw that
baffling.
coming.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good one.
Come on, Dave the Diver.
Best indie
Yeah.
game.
Sweep that indie category.
Yeah.
Did you see that he answered? He did like a quasi interview, and someone asked, "What's the deal with that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, his answer was not that good.
Yeah, it was like indie means different things to different people. Like that was the answer. It's like,
What a
okay,
weak
thanks,
answer.
dude, who runs the Game Awards.
Yeah. Yeah, what a mess that thing
All
has
right.
been.
More news. We got a first look at Amazon Prime's Fallout series. We got some pictures.
Oh yeah,
I want
they
to see
look
some
pretty
pretty
decent.
in-depth pictures. I was not expecting to get like the big suit of armor.
Yeah, I didn't see these yet. Okay.
Yeah, they look pretty decent.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
All is it going to be better or worse than Twisted Metal?
Oh, well, I mean, the thing I like about Twisted Metal is that it doesn't take itself seriously. So that it's probably going to be better, but I don't know that it'll be as fun, maybe.
Okay.
I could see it being kind of like, eh.
It seems like it's going to take itself seriously, and I feel like
does.
after The Last of Us took itself super seriously, people are like, we got to do serious video game adaptations.
Yeah, I kind of hope not, but yeah, they probably.
All right, this next story is just for me. The next Press Layton comes out in 2025, and there's gameplay of it.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh, there's
quickly
gameplay of it.
going through it.
Yeah, you can see them doing a puzzle. It's all in Japanese. Oh, they have subtitles, but I also think it looks great. Like they go back to kind of a flat look for them as opposed to the polygonal look that they had to do for the 3DS. So that's 2 years off. Looking forward to that.
Professor Layton and the New World of Steam.
Hell yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Cool.
The first Grand Theft Auto trilogy is coming to Netflix games.
Yay.
This is on December 14th, so you can play that on mobile if you want.
Sure, why not?
Atari tweeted today. I'll just read the Atari 50 is getting a new update on Tuesday. Any guesses what games will drop with it? I just thought it was cool that they were adding more games into that collection. And John, can you figure out what the games are based on these emojis?
What in the world?
So for the audio people, there's a blue diamond, an orange diamond, and corn.
Diamond, corn. Hoop, basket.
Next one
hoop,
is
basket.
basketball trash
Basketball.
can.
Yeah, basketball trash can, basketball hoop, car horse, and
Horse. You'd think that would be easy,
gun
but I don't know
volleyball.
what that is. Well, no, it's a water polo, right? I'm assuming. Water gun, water polo. Is ringing any bells? How about you, Paul?
Nope.
I'm reading through the thread, and some people are making some pretty solid guesses here. I see Berserk. I see Maze Craze for
Which
the
one would be Berserk? Like
the water
I have
gun
two
and I
copies
guess
of Berserk.
the gun one is the guess I'm seeing. Like I said, I'm skimming through here.
Okay.
Double Dribble, I don't think had an Atari version. Otherwise, that would have been my guess for the basketballs.
Anyway, cool that they're adding more to that collection. That's good for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this last news story is that Bungie pushed back that final shape expansion episode, whatever, I guess expansion, all the way to June 4th.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, which it had already gotten delayed once, and then all the layoffs happened and stuff, so it wasn't doing well, and they have pushed it back yet again. Originally, or not originally, but previously it was going to do in February. Now it is all the way into summer of next year.
Interesting.
And that's it for news. Let's do some questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box are all great ways to send questions in. And you can sound like Kevin writes, what advice do you have for people who have grown out of gaming?
Enjoy your life. I don't know. Have fun.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to give them advice. Like, are you trying to get back into
Congrats.
gaming, or like, congrats on having
keep running,
losing
you're
your
free.
expensive hobby?
Yeah.
You finally made it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they want to get back into gaming. Otherwise, why would they?
Yeah.
Why would, that I just have to assume that's the case.
Find your fun. Look for stuff that you think might be interesting to you that you wouldn't have tried before. And if that doesn't click with you, it's okay to not be into video games.
Yeah, like you don't have to like video games. I don't understand this assumption. Like, what would you say to someone who's like, I don't like video games anymore? It's like, okay,
like,
I don't give a fuck.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is classic Stockholm syndrome. Is they were trapped here and they finally got out, but they want back.
I would say subscribe to the Top Down Perspective on all your favorite platforms for podcasts.
Get into Let's Plays and live streams.
We'll do the gaming for you.
I think there's kind of two ways, and John touched on one. Play some new stuff.
Yeah.
Pick a genre that's kind of out there. Maybe that'll kind of make something new click. Maybe your tastes have changed and there's a whole different genre that you're into. Experiment that way. Or second, just play what you love. Go back to your favorite game or a game that you know you don't have a bad time with. I'm assuming the phrasing "grown out of gaming" makes me think you got bored. So maybe that second one's not a great answer.
Right.
I mean, it was your favorite for a reason. Yeah. Like most of us have a game that's like, if I was forced to go back and play this game, I'd probably have a good time. I love that game.
Sure. VGC Kenny writes, I was at a con recently and they had a game room. One of the games available on their PC setups was a game called Sunblaze. Sunblaze is a precision puzzle platformer. While I enjoyed it, I didn't enjoy using a keyboard because I'm comfortable with the controller. I can wrap my head around keyboard controls in certain instances, such as shooters, but precision platforming is not one of them. Do you find yourself preferring a controller over a keyboard in some game genres or vice versa?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's why I have so many on this damn desk.
I won't play a Souls-like game without a controller. That's just not going to happen.
I hate playing Metroidvanias without a controller. 2D platformers, I hate using keyboard and mouse.
Also, specifically 2D games, I have to be able to use the D-pad. I hate using a fucking analog stick for them.
Any game that doesn't let me use this damn D-pad, I'm so mad about it if it's a 2D platformer.
Yep.
Mine's pretty easy. If it's a keyboard, I don't want to use it. Just across the board. Easy. Don't care what it is.
Even for shooters? Like the shooters, absolutely. I'm like, yeah, give me KBM for like Fortnite and stuff like that.
Nope. And then there's the few times where I'm like at like a press show and they have like a demo station set up with keyboard because they're like, oh, of course you're gonna play this shooter with a keyboard. And I'm like, yes, I am. And then it looks like I don't even know how to walk. And I'm just like, I know what I'm doing.
There are certain games I dislike. Our first-person shooters play. I hate playing Halo with keyboard and mouse. I love playing Halo with like a controller, but like a twitchy shooter, Unreal Tournament, like Fortnite, please give me a keyboard and mouse.
I'm literally looking at the developer of the game and I'm going, I mean, I know how to reload guns with a keyboard, but if someone didn't, what would you tell them? Like, what's the usual button? Oh, it's R. Yeah, I mean, I knew that.
Yeah.
Of course, that stands for reload. I should have guessed that. I mean, they wouldn't have guessed that.
No, I don't even care what it is. Give me a controller, and I'll use the controller preferably.
That is way easier. Yeah.
Hayes Hero EX says 2024 is almost here, so I guess it's fair to ask about the Top 10 Perspective podcast calendar ideas. Who is appearing in which month? Obviously, each of you would be in 4 months each. And what costumes or attires and poses should we expect for each month? If someone is not present to answer, then the other host may answer for them. and there's a bonus question as well. For month 13, aka Smarch, the 3 should be in the photo. What would the theme be for that month?
Is this a
All right,
nude
so-
calendar?
No, God, no. I am not in shape for that, so I'm gonna say no to that. I'd say one of the easiest months for all of us is our birth months because I think we're all born in different months.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say that for me though. My birth month is a secret.
Ooh.
So I saw what we were trying to do. I'll take
yeah,
January.
I'll
It's
take
the
November.
first month. Okay.
The easiest one for the three of us would be like Christmas or something, wearing like Christmas sweaters or something, having a good time.
Ugly Christmas sweaters in front of a tree. Yeah, there you go.
And it's also the only time that Sean's actually in the city, and like we could conceivably
True.
do it.
Yeah.
It's true.
I like the idea Lineback said of having Nathan instead for Smarch. Like we don't show up, it's just
Okay.
Nathan.
When is Smart? Is that supposed to be between
That's a made up
March?
one from like The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So just a fake, like just like basically think of like what would you do if there was a 13th month?
I kind of prefer the idea that we're all in all of them and we're dressed up for like Christmas
seasons
or
or
it's
the holidays.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Christmas should totally be like old school. We're sitting on the floor playing games.
Totally. Yep.
Wired. Yeah. Like it's Christmas morning. We just got an N64.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good
Paul's
one.
there. He's N64 kid. He's losing his mind. He's so excited.
The most
True.
excited Paul's ever been on the podcast.
It's ironic because out of all of my friends, I was the one without the N64 for years
go.
and years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
growing up.
finally it's your chance to get it.
It's my
finally your chance
time.
to
It's funny.
experience
I
it.
my
had
time.
two, so I must have had yours.
Oh yeah, I was PlayStation household, which probably explains why I'm into a lot of the games I'm into.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sean, you're the most fit, so you're probably gonna be the swimsuit model. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll go to the gym for some reason.
You also like the sun.
That's
I
also
do like the sun. Yes.
didn't think of it that way, but also correct.
Yeah, and outside. Just all the summer months can be, Sean. I'll take the peripheries.
All right, Phantom Aegis with our last question. What form of entertainment is your worst in terms of the diversity that you consume? For example, the only books, not counting manga or comics, that I am really into are science fiction books. It is my worst entertainment media in terms of diversity.
Books for me too.
Probably movies for me, because I tend to watch action movies mostly.
What? No.
I know, shocking. Real shocking.
Yeah, that's a good. It might just be books, just because of like how few books I read, that it just kind of ends up being that.
Yeah, right.
'Cause movies and TV are super diverse for me on purpose.
Yeah.
Movies remind me, I forgot to tell you guys, I watched Bad CGI Gator last week.
I saw you tweet about this. I don't know what this is.
It's literally just a weird, like, B movie some group made about a bad CGI gator running around killing people. It's just like a weird parody movie of like 80s.
Oh, this came
slasher
out
film.
this year.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
came out like last week.
Yeah. It's a TVP contender.
Okay.
I had a good time watching that. It was fun.
Okay.
And then
that's
this
cool.
led me to finding out there's a movie called Bad CGI Sharks. So now I have that.
Okay.
This is
sure.
one of my Black Friday pickups I'm going to be enjoying. And then it also reminded me I never actually freaking watched Cocaine Bear. So now I have Cocaine Bear.
Okay.
Yeah. Cocaine Bear's like okay. It got so much more it got so much popular and for like not a great reason, because I don't
Yeah.
think it's as good as people like wanted it to be.
That's fair.
John
we did the
likes
TDV
actual B movie like garbage though, so he
Yeah.
probably will find. Also,
I will thrive off this. I will be
I think
living
yeah,
forever.
I think you'll like it more than either of us, and I thought it was okay as well.
Yeah, like
I mean,
I watched Snakes on a Plane twice in theaters. I
Yeah.
paid to see that
That
movie
movie's
twice.
so good. Oh my god.
The good parts of Cocaine Bear I super enjoyed. It's just unfortunate that all the good parts are in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's so Bad CGI Gator has the exact same problem, but that's only a
Yeah.
50-minute movie. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I think Cocaine Bear was not that short, but it was on the shorter end as well.
let me see.
And then it's
1
like
hour and
spawned a whole
35
bunch
minutes.
of
That's
other-
honestly that's a perfect length for a B movie.
Yeah.
It spawned a whole bunch of like spin-offs, like Sloth one. What's that one called?
Oh my god, yeah. What the hell was that called?
It has a weird like pun name
It's
where it's like,
Slaughterhouse or something. Slaughterhouse.
yeah,
or,
there you go. Yeah.
I heard that was okay. I might check that out.
Oh, did you? I did not follow Slaughterhouse.
Okay.
And there's a shark one as well. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just want to watch all the
Another-
Sharknadoes now.
Right.
There's a lot of those, right?
There's like
are.
5 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
I've watched the
Did
first
either of
2.
you see
So.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes, I did.
Nah,
Okay,
don't
what'd you
care
think
for
of
the
that?
franchise.
It's fucking awful. It's terrible.
Okay. All right.
Because it's not bad.
Um,
That's the thing. It's not like crazy terrible and it's not It's not good and it's not terrible. It's trying to be way too many things and it doesn't do anything particularly interesting. So it's just kind of wasting your time the whole time through.
Okay. I'm really excited. That new Godzilla 0 or Godzilla 1, for what it's called.
Mhm.
It just came out. Apparently it's incredible.
I believe it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and see that this weekend or next week or something like that. I'm excited for that.
Nice.
Oh, and back to this question. Music that might be a weird answer because people listen to specific genres, so it might be music for me.
Yeah.
Not very broad with my genres.
Yeah, I got my Spotify year in review. And it's like, yeah, you listened to 46 genres this year. I'm like, oh, okay.
It might be music for
I
me
said
too,
one.
but not
You
genre
said
wise.
what?
Wow.
Okay, to be fair, I only because it was here's your favorite song. You listen to it 4 times. And it's because I use Spotify just to find the music, and then I just go elsewhere and download it so I have it on my phone.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So the songs that are always in my top are ones that I'm not even really that into, but I just listen to them a few times to be like, do I like this? Should I go download this? I need to listen to this 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, that's it for questions. If you want to send in questions next week, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
Super Mario RPG.
Parappa the Rapper 2.
I'm going to do 2 for the previous week and then the last week. So it's Lies of P for the Thanksgiving week, and then this last week it's Super Mario RPG.
Cool.
All right. And I'm assuming next week, no show. Are we going to watch the Game Awards? Paul, do you want to talk over the Game Awards?
That is.
I didn't know if you were going or not. I already have plans to be here in time for them. Yes, I'm doing that.
I plan to not be around for the Game Awards.
No, I plan
so
I'm leaving work, making a half day.
Oh, you are going to be home for Game Awards.
For sure.
So you are
100%.
watching it?
Yes, 100%.
Do you want to talk over the Game Awards?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know if you were going down.
I would love
or
to
not,
join
so.
you. Obviously, John, you're welcome to join if you want to.
I'll debate. I'm not sure if I can enjoy an award show for 3 hours, though.
Okay. Well, that's why you got friends that are
Game
watching it with you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Some of us will be talking next week, but yeah, it makes no sense to do the show at the same time because we want to watch the Game Awards. And yes, no, I'm not going if that wasn't obvious. Maybe next year. I was invited, for the record. I was invited.
So you chose not to, or just were don't think you can make it?
I chose not to. Just I had a lot of other travel stuff that I just booked. So I was I just want. My mom's also visiting right now. So
Oh yeah, makes sense.
I just need one less thing to do, which is actually good because I'm super busy at work. So that's for the best. Okay, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.